Welcome back to Malta Archery and welcome back to the History channel. Today we talk about the Cuman Archers. I got a question that the Cuman Archers, as shown here in the pictures, have the arrows upside down in their quivers. If this would make any sense. And I thought that's an interesting question. But unfortunately I don't have one of these Cuman, which is, by the way, some Turkish tribe, I guess, but I'm not a historian in any means, so maybe you want to ask Murat Özveri or someone, they really are more into all this stuff. As I don't have one of these quivers, I made my own. The size is roughly appropriate. The only thing is they have here, they narrow down to kind of a bottleneck and then they open out again, so it makes easier. But I explain it while we shoot. So this is what I made. I will wrap this around my fat belly, and then we talk about this. Why are the arrows upside down in a quiver? Stay tuned. First of all, this is roughly how it looks on these paintings and drawings. Of course, imagine you have this bottleneck here. So why would it make sense to have arrows upside down? The most precious part you have, which is essential of your success, is a sharpened tip. These are, of course, historical tips. They are not sharp, but imagine they're really, really sharp, and they have to be. The sharper they are, the better it is. When you put them like this in a quiver and they rattle around, that means the tips are always under pressure, touching each other, getting blunt down there, even if it's a leather quiver or stuff like this. So you always do harm to your really pointy, sharp tips. So of course, only of this consideration alone, it would already make sense to have the arrows like this, right? So the tips can maybe touch barely a bit, but you know, the pointy end is free. There is no harm done to these arrows. Of course, we shoot to their Turkish bow, and now when you see, like Murat Özveri and many others, they always hold the arrows like this. Two arrows there between middle finger and ring finger, and they shoot like this. You can see him even performing stunts, jumping around and stuff like this. Like this, and then they reload, you know that. Good. With heavy tips you ruin every target. So, how could you get the arrows out of a normal quiver in this way? There's no chance. Imagine now you have them, first of all, some tips are like this, you can put them in your belt. So even imagine you have them maybe like this in a quiver. The quiver goes until here, then you grab the arrows here, I don't know. You know, then you have them quite far back. Any other quiver doesn't work. When you have the tips pointing up, you directly grab them, put them in, and you have them like shown on all these pictures and like Murat is doing, and then you can shoot your arrows. I got stuck in my wire. See? Don't want to shoot full draw because these arrows are really harmful to my target. See, and then you grab here the next two, have them, and done. And it's the easiest, very convenient way of getting arrows out of a quiver. I don't know if they are historical, whatever, but for me, from the technical side, this is an easy way to do it again. See, I sharpen my tips, and then I don't want to rattle them somewhere in the bottom of some quiver or something, or I don't want to put them through my belt here, because you know the sharp tips here, and when I pull them out I can scratch my belt with the broadhead. The easiest way to not harm your arrows is to carry them like this. The fletching, yeah, might get a little squished, but you know, the tip is more important than the fletching, my opinion. So, and then of course, even if you would have now this bottleneck there, it would be easier. You grab two arrows, have them in your fingers, pull them out, and shoot. It's really easy. So, makes sense, right? So it's not the mistake of someone making a wrong painting or drawing. Like this, look, you grab there too, you feel it, even in the heat of a battle, you don't have to think about this. It's cool. See, zack, get the next two. Oops. Easy peasy. Best way. Oops. Does really make sense to have the arrows tips up in a quiver like this, for me. Now you saw it why. I explained you all my reasons. I'm not sure if this, but when it works, then you know that somebody put some thoughts to it. And this way works really. I wish I would have now one of these real quivers, real made, you know, with this narrowed bottleneck here. They look really fancy. Then you would see what I mean. You really can grab them here. You're always out of, I get an arrow again. So, first of all, they always have a lid there. So even when you ride, when you do something, you don't reach the tip of your arrow. So they're really safe there. It's a really safe way. Whatever I do here, I don't touch my tips. So they're completely out of the way. And when I grab them, everything of my body is out of the way. You see, the tip is here. The tip is here, pointing away from me. Even in a battle, even on horseback, I'm always safe. Especially with my broadheads. Imagine I would like to, you know, like some people invented this for horseback. Do this with broadheads. You cut yourself. And then again, you poke yourself. In the battle of the fire and in the battle of, in the heat of the battle. Know what I mean? So you have here, cut your fingers, poke your fingers, dangerous, right? Whereas this one here, I can't poke my fingers because it's protected, so I slide always sideways. I have the arrow shafts there, I grab them, I have them, the points are far away, easy and safe. And I think this matters too. Boom, see, next one, no problem. You don't harm yourself and you don't harm your precious arrow tips. They stay pointy and sharp. Makes fully sense to me. I like this way of getting arrows out of a quiver. So if somebody is in the mood and builds some nice quivers, I would appreciate if you could build one of these. I show it in the photo now again. Would be really nice to test in the real quiver. So this is my, you know, homemade DIY. But it works, it does the job. They even made, you know, like this. So, does this make sense to you now too? Good. I hope the question is answered. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.